Hey guys, this is Rob and Alexis.
So we're doing a Van Halen amp and guitar shootout today. I'm Rob, this is Alexis.
What's up?
He's the local Van Halen expert around here.
I don't know about that.
There you are. So we have 3 different amps, 3 different sound approaches to Van Halen's tone. We've decorated our little shop here with records. And then these are all of his guitars that he either bought, most of them he built. And then I have a Les Paul here, Eddie used a Les Paul, so we gotta have one. And we're gonna run through a Kemper, the 5150 Iconic, and then this is one that I built. It's a JMP, like master lead style circuit. We're gonna run through kind of like in the vein of what Pete Thorne did in the pickup videos, only with guitars and different amps. And then sometimes a phaser and a flanger. So
when necessary, for sure.
They're gonna hear a whole lot of random Van Halen.
Let's go.
Let's start with the Kemper. What model is this?
It's the Kemper Stage. It's one of my favorites, actually. To me, it's the most easiest one to use.
Okay, so what profile do you find yourself using on this mostly?
Mostly, I think there's a lot of good profiles from the Top Jimmy, but particularly the Van Halen 2 one, I feel like captures Eddie's tone.
So where would you use the Kemper if you weren't going to use an amp? Whether you're playing on stage or recording or practicing?
Yeah.
Where do you find that this shines for you?
For me, like, it's in a situation where it's like a quick changeover, you know, like sometimes like you have a good sound guy, you can go XLR out and I get like that strong sound, you know, with this particular profile. Sometimes the way I run it is like I get like one of those head rush speakers, you know, and you just go one output to the head rush, the other output goes to the house. So I always have my own monitor and it gives me that volume I need without affecting the house.
Do you run it ever through a cabinet?
Not too often I do. If I could more, I would.
You do that. Okay, so you have a Van Halen 1 kind of Strat.
Yeah, this one was actually one of the first that I made. So this was taken from Seymour Duncan Custom 78, it's called.
Okay.
I remember I was broke that month when I bought that.
Yeah.
However, when you plug this in, the sound is unmistakable.
It does the thing.
Oh yeah.
Cool. So I take it we'll do some Van Halen 1 tones with it?
I would assume so.
Yeah, probably.
Obviously, it's not complete without this guy. This guy right here at 9 o'clock. Real quick, man. This guy brings an orange cable.
Matches the phaser.
Matches the phaser. Look at that.
Gotta do it. So let's do another part of the Roth era a little bit later, 82, 83. This looks really cool.
This one actually was one of the few that I didn't make. This was made by a good guy. I don't think he makes guitars anymore, but this was custom made by someone I know, and he copied it pretty well, you know. It's a good guitar. I think it has a Seymour Duncan custom, and it sounds really good. You guys see the reflectors there. Check that out. Kramer, just missing the cigarette.
And you have a 71 quarter, and you even have the holes drilled in the right place, which is cool.
Of course, you gotta do it right. That's part of the tone.
Yeah, obviously. All right, so let's do some like fair warning, diver down era kind of stuff.
Obviously, we can't do that album without this.
Gotta have it. So is that a newer like reissue?
It's a reissue, yes.
Yeah, they're still great.
Still good? Let's see how it sounds.
right, so that thing actually sounded really good.
Right? That Van Halen 2
Top Jimmy profile Van Halen 2. We've used it at a gig before.
We did. I think it was what was it? The
Yamava.
The Yamava
The
Legend
casino.
Zeppelin show.
Yeah.
By the way, check out Legend Zeppelin.
Do that. So we had to go direct, and Josh, the guitarist of Legend Zeppelin, used that profile, but tweaked it for like a Jimmy Page tone, which was pretty awesome.
It did work out though.
It did.
It did work out.
So yeah, I think I'm a fan of these as far as like getting that kind of sound kind of easy. I mean, I think Top Jimmy did all the hard work.
Oh, yeah.
Profiling his amps and kind of getting the sound. So like
Had a good bedroom volume, right?
yeah, and it even sounded good in these demos where you get the feel, the crunch, and the sag.
Yeah.
I think that's all there. So like
It really dials it in.
even compared to the other profiles, I think the Van Halen 2 just kind of has it all in my opinion. So let's try the Iconic now. So this is like the newest version of the 5150 lineup. Kind of a more like slightly budget friendly.
Yes.
But like kind of harkens back to the original like Peavy's a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
So why did you get this guy?
Well, why not? It's a 5150, man. Come on.
That's true.
But the tone.
Yeah.
The tone, man, it's just one, it's affordable. Two, you get the tone that you would on like it sounds really close to the 5153, but like you said, like the PV, and it has that like that chug you need, you know?
Yeah.
Like yeah, I love the sound of it. It's still the stock tubes as well.
Oh, sweet. So for this part, we'll probably do some like 1984, Diver Down, just try to like get different points. So we're gonna use the Les Paul for some of this. This one's mine. It's a 2007 custom shop.
Nice.
I have all sorts of fun stuff in here, but the most important thing is I have a T-top clone made by Rewind here, and then this is a Seymour Duncan Seth Lover, but I put an Alnico 5 magnet in there. So
Nice.
I'm a weirdo. I'm swapping magnets and all this stuff, but this is really more set up for like a Jimmy Page thing, but I mean a T-top is a T-top, so it'll do what we're doing here. So gotta have at least one Les Paul in the mix.
This was probably predates the black and white one, but it was a MusicCraft project. It was I painted this one, did the stickers, even Van Halen pics as you can see there, and yeah, it's one of my favorites. I put actually a Wolfgang pickup in there, and it sounds pretty close. A couple different specs about it. I am using a Goto with it.
They're better, I think.
It's controversial, but I kind of do like the Goto better, I'm not gonna lie. Goto was one of those EVH fast knobs, you know. I love them, and yeah, love this guitar. Super light too.
That thing sounds great. I played it a couple times. So this is a funny one. So
Nice.
my girlfriend painted this body. She had it laying around. She's a guitar painter. So this one is a fun project. So this inspired me when I borrowed that for a while, and I wanted to do my own. I've never had like a proper Super Strat. So Amanda Peters had this body laying around, and she was going to paint it. She didn't really do anything with it. And so I bought it off of her. And I wanted to put as little money into it as possible. So I had a Warmoth neck that like a coworker of mine had on one of his. And then
Nice.
this one, his bandmate and our buddy Alan hooked me up with a PAF Pro. I had a pickup that died in this, and then so I needed something quick. Everything else is like AliExpress, like pickguard. Sharky.
I got a Sharky, the EVH one. I got this one in 2020. It's I've always wanted this one ever since I saw the You Really Got Me video, and I'm glad I have it now. A good replica of it. I had to get it modified right here to make the switch work for the solo part. Yep. We all know the reason why everybody gets this one, right? And it sounds great. I believe it has two Wolfgangs, I think.
Okay.
I think it's stock. So.
That's rad.
And I got the correct strap.
Is that a Fairfield?
I believe it's a Fairfield, yeah.
Shout out Lewis at Fairfield. So we'll probably do the Les Paul, the Sharky, and the 78 for this one. And the amp we're going to use now, this one is really cool. So I built this one this week, actually. I just finished it. And
nice.
It's a JMP, Master Lead JMP amp. So like think AC/DC, like late 70s.
Nice. Like
pre-JCM 800. I did kind of modify it though. These come with a bright cap on the gain. I don't like bright caps. I take out every bright cap because I hate them. Sorry, I just don't like them. And then I added a little bit of heat to the preamp section. So for you amp nerds out there, I switched the plate resistors of the first preamp tube, made it a little hotter. And not that Eddie used really, well, there's photos of him with like JMPs in his like rack.
Yeah.
So we could put a photo up. So he used them, maybe not in the studio, but live. He probably had some in the rack. But
can this thing take us to 1978?
Yes. So it's got so much gain on it. And the other thing with the way it's voiced, there's a lot of changes that Marshall made to the super leads and going into the late 70s. What I did was I kept the tone stack and everything is still like a late 60s super lead.
Nice.
But the front end where the preamp section is like a JMP. So it kind of sounds like a Plexi and a JMP mushed together.
Like all fused in one.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
But a little hotter. So I, for funsies and for friends and anyone who's into really nerdy amp stuff, I make like Marshall clones. So I'm kind of going down the rabbit hole of like Jimmy Page amps. We're working on one for some of our friends and for my own personal gratification.
Of course.
Got to chase it. And then getting into some higher gain stuff with the JMP, like if you ever get into it, modding, changing a couple things here and there can really like shift your amp one way or another, or the tone of it. So that's been fun. So that's what this one is. This is a late 70s master lead kind of circuit, but it is so hot sounding. Like it's perfect for this.
guys, thanks for watching. We've always wanted to do a video like this, and I'm glad we had the time to do it for you guys.
And for us.
Well, for us too, obviously. Comment down below what you guys thought. Give it a like, share it, all that fun stuff.
We did this because we do a lot of road trips together, going to a lot of gigs.
Oh, yeah.
And on the road for 5-6 hours, we'll talk about basically all this stuff. So this is kind of the first kind of episode of these rabbit holes that we'll probably keep going down. Started with Van Halen because, again, he has kind of all this stuff, loves to showcase it, and why not, right? There's no shortage of love for Eddie. That's right. And then we'll probably do more down the road. I mean, I'd like to do a Page one. We have some friends that are pretty good with the gear on the Jimmy Page thing. And then anything else that is in our wheelhouse. So probably be hearing more from us nerds at some point.